I would say my greatest contribution to the community was when I was a manager for a St. Vincent de Paul store. St. Vincent de Paul is a national store, and they take donations and resell it to the community at a very, very low price. It was a big operation. We employed about 10 members of the community, and we would have people call up and say they would like to make a donation, and we would send a truck out with a helper or two, and they would bring it back. We would clean it up and then put it out on the sales floor.
Oh, absolutely. Well, I think you'd find a lot of people who were prior service, doesn't matter which branch, are often very community service minded. As far as my time in the service, I joined 1976, 1st Infantry Division out of Fort Riley, Kansas. I was an intelligence analyst. I spent 3 years on active duty and then went into the reserves where I spent 2.5 years as a Special Forces sergeant. Got injured at jump school, so I had to drop out. Spent the rest of my time in when I got activated as a reservist at 9/11, and came out here to Charlottesville, Virginia, at National Ground Intelligence Center, where I spent 4.5 years as a transnational chemical and biological analyst. And then after that, I spent about 9 months doing Iraq and Afghanistan IEDs, where I was the senior analyst. And then I retired in 2008. So that was my time in the military. Well, I think there's probably 2 ways you can define it. One is a person who gets paid, as in the case of EMS or a fireman or a policeman. And I would say then they're just spontaneous heroes, those people that act in an instant. So both can be heroes, but there's 2 entirely different situations. In the first one, where people are paid, they're trained to do it. The second one, people act out of the goodness of their heart, out of their responsibility to their fellow man, or just they react at a very gut level to do the right thing. Then you hear about people running into houses to save people, people trying to rescue people out of cars that are caught on fire, or going into destroyed houses like after an earthquake. 9/11 is a good example. Those firemen rushed into those buildings. While they didn't realize that they were going to collapse, they did realize they were going into danger. So that's probably the best way to define what a hero is that's helping out the community.